Welcome to the latest episode of Big Brother Bile, where we say, David Bowie, rest in peace, but come on man, sort it out. Stop haunting the camera runs and freaking out Gemma Collins. It's blowing up her game. I'm James.
I'm Lindsay.
And here we are.
We're only a week too late with all the action.
Oh well.
In a week where in the news, Big Brother was more in the news probably than when Jay Goody died. Probably not as much as when Nasty Nick wrote those notes on a piece of paper.
No.
And Craig called him devious. But between that and Jay Goody dying, I'll put David Bowie. What do you think?
It's trending so hard at the moment. Everyone's so into it.
Were people like at your work talking about Big Brother? Because that was such a weird thing to like have people talking about Big Brother at work.
Everyone watched that one episode,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
But it did sort of muddy up David Bowie's death a bit.
What?
Well, I think some people...
David who?
David Bowie. I think some people were... Apparently they were upset or something, but that sort of kind of like took the edge off it, didn't it?
Did you not read that Piers Morgan column? He said,
he didn't like it at all.
He said, Big Brother that night was nothing better than a snuff movie. I think you're over-egging it a bit
if
now,
they
mate.
had the corpse in there and they were interfering with it in some way, then yeah, that would be true. But they did the next best thing, which was just...
Snuff movie? Come on now, that is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, it's completely crazy. So, basically, yeah, we missed probably the most exciting week in Big Brother history. But hey, we're here now. What more do you want? So then basically... What should we... Well, we can't bury the lead, can we?
What is the lead? Oh.
I didn't mean it like that. Right, so firstly, like, Big Brother was like, oh, David Bowie's side, but we're going to tell Angie, like, off camera, we're going to be, like, really...
Oh, because we've got to do it off camera. That's
be, like,
really, really important.
Really respectful.
Did they do it off camera, though?
Apparently,
remember when that guy's granddad died? Remember the guy that said he was a millionaire? And his grandmum or something.
I do remember something about that blonde guy.
No, he's
Bowie, that guy.
No, he was an old fella. It was years ago on Channel 4.
An old fella?
Yeah, and he left immediately when the grand died or whatever it was. Mm. And did they tell him off camera or not? I can't remember.
What about Frankie Grande and Derek Levister? They both played on in honour of their granddads.
They had a grandpa alliance.
I think the thing we've got to remember amongst all this, first... Rest in peace, David Bowie. Everyone likes David Bowie. No one's got a bad word to say about him. Apart from, ironically, Angie Bowie fucking hates his guts. So she's in there milking it. Oh, I'm grieving, blah, blah, blah. She couldn't give two fucks about David Bowie. She don't even care about her own son. Fuck her. She was trying to milk it as much as possible. She calls... Christian, are we calling him John now, or...?
I think you got to give him the respect of
the
partridge.
Christian is gone, because we like Christian. John is it. So she calls John up, she calls David up to the diary room to, like, support her in her grief. She's like, David's dead. Luckily, she told David Gest first, so he didn't get confused.
True.
Now, what does Big Brother do next? Sends David Gest. He's gone.
Now, admittedly, David Gest is ill.
He's been ill for a whole week now. Nearly as long as you.
Exactly. This show is so good. I've actually caught David Gest cough. And that's not a nice cough to have, I assure you.
No, it ain't. It's not the cough that carries you off. It's the coffin they carry you off in. Mm. That's what my mum used to say to me.
So anyway, Ted sends David Gest off to bed with no supper. Conveniently.
Also, at that exact same time... John Partridge was in the shower. So basically everyone who knew about David Bowie being dead was conveniently off screen. Mm. Now, it's true, isn't it? Now, when they left the diary room, Angie, John and David all said, Mum's the word. So just remember that. Mum's the word. Don't tell anyone. No. Whatever you do, don't tell anyone what's happened, okay?
Alright.
Okay? Did you notice how John was like, oh, but what happened there? Like, he was after all the details. He's like, oh, what did he die of? He's like, oh, no, don't worry. It's a private matter, but, you know, what happened? Did you notice? He was proper, like, mixing it up. So anyway, Angie said she was staying in the house to avoid the press. But hold on, the press is still going to be there when she gets out the house. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I can understand that sense of logic. It's true, you are completely, like, cosseted in there, aren't you? So...
What do you think to this theory that maybe we came up with, but it could have been someone else, that
Ted made David Gest ill purely to arouse the suspicion that he was dead.
That's confirmed. That's not a theory. But what about?
But how did they do that? They put something in his food, or was it? Did they put something in his lasagna?
It is lasagna. No, hold on.
Lasagna.
You're derailing me.
All right.
That they put Angie in the house knowing that David Bowie was gravely ill.
Ted killed David Bowie.
And Emma Willis said happy 69th birthday to David Bowie on that Friday episode. I watched David Bowie's music video that night. Next day, or the day after, he was dead.
And conveniently, he got 51 million YouTube views.
Did it?
The next day, the whole thing.
Well, after he died.
The whole thing. Either Ted killed David Bowie, or the whole thing is one big money-making ruse put together by Ted and David Bowie.
Bowie.
Yeah.
You have no power over me, Ted. I watched Labyrinth the other night. It was lush. It was so nice. David Bowie does deserve more respect than that. And let's just say that. And let's just leave that and now on with the rest of Big Brother Bile.
Do you think Channel 5 disrespected the memory of David Bowie?
No, because the whole thing had nothing whatsoever to do with David Bowie. And Rylan was on this morning and he said they were going blah, 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 blah. And he went, look, that was the only thing that happened all day. That was the only thing people talked about all day. It's meant to be Big Brother 24 hours a day. If they cut it out, we would be complaining. So, do you know what I mean? Milk it. But I was listening to the radio all that day after. They played that clip of Angie telling Tiffany over and over on the news. That was like the headline story every hour. Like, everyone was talking about it. It was like... So, did you find that funny? Or did you think it... You didn't find it as funny as I did, I don't think.
No, I don't think I did. It was funny though, but I just thought it was really crass.
It was, but it's Channel 5. It was disrespectful, but just it was a comedy of errors and it was like a farce, but what did Angie actually think? Did she just think that Tiffany was like the biggest David Bowie like fan on earth, or like David is a pretty common name, do you know what I mean? Like, how did that even happen? Do you know what I mean?
Do you think Tiffany was actressing?
If Tiffany was actressing, she deserves an Oscar.
She is a good actress. We saw that. We saw that tonight in that task.
It was so good. But so Angie goes, you can't say a word. David's dead. And like Tiffany like literally like dropped to the floor. She's like screaming. Everyone was outside smoking, of course. And they're just like, what the fuck? What is going on? They're just like, what? And then Angie went, it just happened now. He died of cancer. Please don't tell anyone. Well,
but what? Why would they wouldn't allow you in the Big Brother house with like stage 4 cancer or what have you, would they?
It was either Tiffany thought he dropped dead in the diary room, but then the others seemed to think he'd just died in bed and they just left him there. But, that is pretty bad aftercare if they just leave a corpse in the bedroom.
But the thing is though, although he wasn't in the house, he is, well, apparently he's confirmed as dead, although you know, the male...
Who? David Gest or Bowie?
No, David Bowie. Mm-hmm. And now this ghost in the camera runs, do we have any pre-existing ghosts on Big Brother, apart from, obviously, Bunky in the mirror, but that was just someone holding a torch up under their face. But that was quite frightening.
I think you might be disrespecting David Bowie now.
Oh, apologies.
Let's continue on with the events that actually happened, and then we can't be accused of causing offence.
All
you
right.
know Big Brother Bowl does not like to cause offence.
Oh, no way. Do you know what I realised? Yeah. Someone had like the radio on like at work the other night, and they were playing like all David Bowie songs, and you know what I realised? How many shit fucking songs he has got.
I agree.
I know like people like him.
Oh my god. I totally agree. Ch-ch-ch-ching, I hate that one. Heroes, I hate. But do you know what the good ones are? All the ones about space. There's a star. That one's good.
Alright.
All the space ones are good. And, of course, all the ones out of Labyrinth. Come on, slap that baby. Set him free. James gets mad when I talk about that. Anyway, so Tiffany's reaction was, I need a drink. Then she ran out to the garden and said to everyone, David is dead. I can't keep this a secret. Honestly, if you just paused it on people's faces when she said that, Christopher Maloney was like, the fuck? And then Darren Day just like ran up, like got into the bedroom, like over David Guest's bed, pulled the covers back and just went
drew back the curtains.
Just went, look, he's here, look. It was just like the most understated thing ever. I wish we'd got like a close-up on David Guest's face when they pulled out the covers. That would have been brilliant. And then Tiffany was just like, what the fuck? Andy told me he was dead. And then it just all descended into like absolute craziness. So what actually happened? Do you think they cut something out? Because the way they all rounded on Tiffany was really weird. The gang up eyes, discuss.
Gang up eyes. Well, like Tiffany, everyone says, like, everyone in America's like, oh my god, just wait. Like, when you see her, like, you'll be amazed.
When you see a guy, yeah.
But...
You mean Jason Roy, don't you?
No, I mean, like, but half of Twitter, like, everyone American that's watching, which is quite a few people because of her, I think, are just like, oh, like, yeah, she's amazing, this, that, and the other. And she is amazing.
I do like, she's a great housemate.
But sometimes she's...
I've not seen her proper, like, go at someone, like, go to, like, rip someone's hair out yet.
No, but it's like she's playing, like, she's got quite a variable game.
No, but she's, like, said a few times, like, I've had to bite my tongue, like, this and that. Like, she seems quite calm, and I think they are alienating her a bit. Like, Daniela was like, Tiffany said David's dead, and she was like, and David Bowie's not even dead either. It's like, oh yeah, he is. And then Tiffany was like,
yeah, but hang on. If it was Michael Jackson or any other like big pop star, they just tell their housemates, "Oh, so and so's dead."
That's not actually true, because Michael Jackson did actually die in the Big Brother series, and returning player Federico came back in and told the housemates that he was dead and was promptly kicked out.
So it's not the first time Ted's been very insensitive.
Big Brother super fan. He'll appreciate that. That's sort of factoid from me. So anyway, hold on. Oh yeah, Daniela goes, you told her David was dead of cancer, but he's in there asleep. The whole thing was just absolutely ridiculous.
Stupid.
But then Tiffany said, Angie said David Gest. Angie did not actually say David Gest. Angie could have cleared it up by saying my ex-husband David Bowie.
But didn't you say she's such a narcissistic cunt? She thinks that only David in the world
anyone knows
is David Bowie.
Exactly. Also, Ted could have cleared it up by saying over the tannoy.
That would have been more sensible.
David, but everyone, doom.
But
doom,
then you wouldn't assume that someone would fudge up announcing their own ex-husband's death, would you? And when they saw it, they must have been pussing over that footage.
Can you imagine? Someone, even Nick or someone at work was saying to me, like, they must have been like in the control room going, maybe we should step in and say something, and someone else like just put their hand over and said, no, let them carry on.
Yeah.
And it was blatantly like it's Machiavellian, it's like Jurassic Park or something. So anyway, Tiffany said, but we don't even get the newspapers in here, so how did she know? That's a damn good point. Do they not get the newspapers in there? They got iPad and shit these days.
Well,
these days. yeah. Go on.
They got their phones now, right?
So then they all got John out of the shower, and he stepped in and said, look, it's not my place to tell you that. Look, you got the wrong David, all right?
Not saying anything, but
yeah,
no man.
No names mentioned, but but you remember, look, David Bowie's got beef with Morrissey.
Yeah.
Remember when he made Morrissey fade into the dry ice?
Oh, with the cold cuts, yeah.
But you got to think, David Bowie's also on Without You, I'm Nothing, the Placebo song.
Yeah.
What an amazing song that is. Although I do prefer the version without David Bowie on.
Oh, I like the Bowie version, so.
Nah, because he like...
Forget about it.
All right, let's get back to this nonsense.
All right,
so then, hold on.
I think you're listen.
Look,
David Bowie dying was very sad, but I think you're forgetting about the death of one of the greatest players of all time on Celebrity Big Brother UK, Jonathan Shaban.
Hold on. We're not there yet. Wait. Look, what about this? We don't feel safe around her.
It's like being in the Dark Age. It's like that 10,000 BC, that new show they got coming on.
Look, they said we don't feel safe around her, around Tiffany, because Tiffany was shouting about it. The only reason Tiffany was shouting was because she was embarrassed. She realised she'd made a mistake. And if I was David Guest, I'd think, oh, Tiffany was like really upset when she thought I was dead. She must like really like me. Do you know what I mean? It was actually quite nice if you think about it.
What do you think about everyone in the lounge area wants you to leave.
Yeah.
Which is about, I think, like 12 people or
Yeah,
so.
John said people are disgusted, freaked out, and scared. I think it was just him and Christina fucking snobby Rickoff.
And we want you to leave.
Yeah.
Which is like...
And Daniela said it too. Everyone doesn't feel safe around you. Everyone wants you to leave. And then Tiffany went to the diary and she's like, if these fuckers want me to leave, fuck that. I'm going to be evicted the proper way. I was like, yeah, you go. I was like, that's the proper way to do it. Fuck those. Because you could